guys, what's up? It's Apple Critics from applecritics.com. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the new iPhone 12 and everything that we need to know about Apple's 2020 iPhones. So the iPhone 12 should be the biggest upgrade in years. So here is everything that you need to know. So the iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, and iPhone 11 Pro Max may make up Apple's current iPhone lineup, but that's not preventing anyone from looking ahead to what's coming this fall from Cupertino. That's when the next iPhone is expected to arrive, at least assuming there are no delays triggered by the current pandemic. And the new iPhone will be the iPhone 12, which reportedly will be the first to support Apple's 5G. So other reports also point to the all-new iPhone 12 design that gets rid of the iPhone's distinctive notch while adding in-display Touch ID functionality, and there could be more iPhone models than Apple normally releases. So we're still several months out from the next iPhone launch, and a lot can change, but here's what we know so far about the iPhone 12. Now, the iPhone 12, what we should expect is that there will be 4 iPhone 12 models coming this fall, following the launch of the iPhone 9, which happened this month. So expect 2 iPhone 12 devices with 5.4 and 6.1 inch displays, and 2 iPhone 12 Pro models at 6.1 inches and 6.7 inches. So multiple iPhone 12 models will feature 5G connectivity via Qualcomm's 5G modem, and the iPhone 12 Pros will add a time of flight sensor to 3 rear cameras, which will also aid AR performance. Now, the time of flight sensor for the rear cameras will be similar to the one that's in the iPad with the LiDAR, and it's all for the AR support, which will have a lot of new features in iOS 14 that we should assume. Now, all new iPhones could feature OLED screens, while the iPhone 12 Pro may offer a 120 Hz refresh rate. Now, the latest news so far within that we know today is that the iPhone 12 Pro Max could arrive much later than the iPhone 12 models, according to a new supply chain report out of Asia. A new iPhone 12 leak shows how much smaller the iPhone 12 notch could be on Apple's new flagship, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max design has been leaked in a new video, and it shows a smaller notch and the LiDAR scanner and a thinner design. And a report concerning the design of Apple's upcoming handsets echoes earlier rumors that the Pro iPhone 11 12 models will incorporate flat stainless steel edges like the current iPad Pro, or akin to the iPhone 5 from way back when. Now, in terms of the iPhone 12 release date, it could potentially be delayed. Now, the iPhone 11 lineup debuted at an Apple Press event on September 10th last year, so it stands to reason that the new iPhone 12 would follow in September 2020. So if Apple is able to stay on track and the phone comes out on the second Tuesday of the month, we could be looking at seeing the iPhone 12 release date of September 8th. But since there is a global pandemic, there is multiple reports that have pointed to the delay of the iPhone 12. A recent Bloomberg report says that the iPhone 12 phones are still on track for the launch, and a separate DigiTimes article cites supply chain sources who deny that Apple has asked to delay production. So what does this mean? So a Mac Rumors article citing analyst Jeff Pugh with Chinese research firm GF Security says that the 5.4-inch and 6.1-inch iPhone 12 will be released in September alongside the 6.1-inch iPhone 12 Pro, but the biggest 6.7-inch iPhone 12 Pro won't hit shelves until October. So previously, a Nikkei Asian review reports that the iPhone 12 may be delayed by months, and the iPhone 12 could even slip into 2021 in a worst-case scenario. This is because of the global pandemic that's ongoing that could potentially affect the production schedule because of their normal production schedule would begin in the next few months, so it's really up in the air right now. Now, even if the iPhone 12 does arrive in September, the highest end model could be held back, according to the April 2020 supply chain report. The standard iPhone 12 series will enter mass production in September, while the rumored iPhone 12 Pro Max will follow suit in October. Now, the global pandemic is forcing Apple to move its Worldwide Developers Conference online, and now the event is still expected to be held in June, so you can expect to hear about iOS 14 around that time, and that's the updated version of Apple's mobile operating system, which will debut on the iPhone 12. Now, in terms of the iPhone 12 price, the iPhone 11 starts at a fairly affordable $699, while the iPhone 11 Pro and iPhone 11 Pro Max cost $999 and $1,099 respectively. So the wild card is how much 5G support will add to the price of the iPhone 12. So most 5G capable phones arriving last year are priced at a premium compared to conventional models. Last year's Galaxy S10 5G and Note 10 Plus 5G both cost $1299, so $200 to $300 more than their LTE counterparts. Now, the newly introduced Galaxy S20 has 5G connectivity and costs $1,000, but there still is $100 more than when the S10 debuted a year ago. Now, Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo strikes a positive tone about pricing for the iPhone 12, saying that Apple will not significantly increase the price of 5G iPhones compared to this year's lineup. He estimates between a $30 and $100 bump, depending on the specific version. Now, waiting until late 2020 to release a 5G phone may work to Apple's advantage if they can release the iPhone 12 for around the same price as you pay for an iPhone today. Now, 5G networks are also going to be further along at that point, with 5G coverage limited to select neighborhoods in just a few cities. For example, T-Mobile already launched its low-band 5G network with which offers speeds slightly faster than LTE traditionally delivers. So though Apple will come out with 5G devices later than Samsung, OnePlus and others are waiting for the iPhone 12 to be make sure that 5G is more relevant towards the people. Now, the iPhone 5G will be Apple's first 5G phones. So speaking of 5G, a report from Nikkei says that all iPhone 12 models will ship with 5G networking capability, which means you won't have to necessarily step up to an iPhone 12 Pro Max to enjoy faster downloads. Now, reportedly, Apple will work with Qualcomm and Samsung to supply its 2020 iPhones with modems from both companies that can connect to 5G networks built on both Wave and sub-6 gigahertz spectrum. Now, according to the analyst Ming-Chi Kuo via CNBC, Qualcomm's development to date has been centered around Wave, while Samsung has concentrated on sub 6 gigahertz. Having support from both Wave and sub gigahertz 5G networks is important because different carriers are using different technologies when rolling out their 5G networks. Now, Verizon 5G is focusing at least initially on Wave, which delivers the fastest speeds but typically requires line of sight. Now, T-Mobile and AT&T are concentrating on lower band 5G, which delivers the longest range but not the fastest speeds. Now, T-Mobile and AT&T are also working on Wave, but it's not as widespread, and Sprint is using mid-band 5G, so it's critical that Apple's 5G iPhones support all of the above technologies. Now that Apple's bought Intel's modem business, it's expected that Apple will eventually stop getting its 5G modems from Qualcomm and will design its own modems in-house. Now, the same way it does for the A-series processors, that's unlikely to happen with the new iPhone 12 though. Now, Ming-Chi Kuo has made a new prediction about the iPhone 12's 5G capabilities that will use far fewer signal amplifiers than first thought. That will mean slower 5G speeds as a result, but users outside of 5G areas definitely won't notice the difference, and those with access to certain 5G networks may not either, since the fledgling networks are not yet that much faster compared to 4G. Now, the iPhone 12 design will include a smaller notch, flatter sides, and possibly blue. Now, in terms of the iPhone 12 cameras, given that the iPhone 11 Pro and iPhone 11 Pro Max feature triple lens rear cameras for the first time in Apple's hardware, we expected that will continue for 2020 versions of the Pro iPhones. It also is widely expected that the new iPhone 12 will add a new lens, a time-of-flight sensor. So you can expect 4 cameras. So that is huge. And that's just a new addition and just another camera for the AR integration, which will be huge with the LiDAR sensors, which is also noted in the iPad Pro. So that's the way Apple is moving towards. So there also is a new patent that Apple filed. So Apple is working on a periscope-like telephoto lens that should provide a longer zoom range for the previous iPhone. So that will be really, really good. Now, the performance will be very fast with the Snapdragon 865 by Qualcomm, and it'll be faster than Apple's current A13 Bionic CPU. And now the refresh rate of 120 hertz will be very, very smooth. It'll be very much like the Galaxy S20 model with that 120 hertz refresh rate, according to DigiTimes. Now, there could be Touch ID in the display, which will be a really close feature that has a great possibility of happening, along with USB-C charging. So that will be some new fast charging, and there will be a new use for Face ID, and there will just be some new features, and it'll just continue to get better. Now, this iPhone 12 is very promising. I'm super excited to get my hands on it, and Apple critics will have all the coverage for it. So stay tuned. Go ahead and like this video, comment down below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more great content. Once again, this was Apple Critics, and thanks for watching.